A couple of weeks ago, I introduced you to the xTool M2 Colorcraft laser, and this machine is amazing. Not only does it engrave, but it also prints in full color and cuts. We're going to put that print to cut workflow to the test today, doing several different projects. I'm going to take you step by step through xTool Studio, all the way to applying it to the actual project. We're going to do that by using some of this inkjet heat transfer paper, which you can find at Walmart. We're also going to be trying out some printable iron-on for light fabric, which you can find at Hobby Lobby. We're going to see how well this machine prints the designs out, cuts them, and then we're going to be attaching them to several different types of fabric projects. I also have a really fun project that I want to try out with these waterproof sticker sheets. And again, you can find these at Walmart. I hope you enjoy. For the first project, I want to try out this printable iron-on for light fabric, which you can find at Hobby Lobby. You get 5 sheets for $4.99, and you do not have to mirror the image on these. I'm going to be applying my designs to this zipper pouch, which you can also find at Hobby Lobby for 99¢. I need to measure to see roughly how big I need to make my designs, and I will be placing an image on both sides. The packet comes with detailed instructions on the back, a pressing sheet, the individual sheets, so you'll see that the top part will be the side we need to print on. The writing is on the back. So let's go load this into the xTool M2. Because we do not need to mirror the image, we can place the paper with the print side up, and you'll need to secure this in place with some masking tape. I'm going to do that for all 4 sides. Then we need to load our inkjet module. It is magnetic, so it attaches very easily, and then you just plug it in. Once you close the lid, it will automatically capture the image as well as measure. Then you can just go ahead and click print for your design. I chose a very detailed design for this one just to see how well it would print and cut this out. Once it finished printing, all you have to do is remove the inkjet module and insert the laser module and plug that in. Then it will process the cutting part. I did have to adjust the settings. I didn't have them quite right, so I did end up having to make 2 passes to cut this. And it did cut through the top sheet as well as the liner on the back. I went ahead and print and cut the design that I'm going to be placing on the back of the zipper pouch. Now let's head back to my crafting table. Placing the pouch on a heating mat, I'm also going to insert this piece of cardboard to keep any of the designs from bleeding through from the front to the back. You also want to go over it with a lint roller to make sure that there is not anything that's going to prevent your design from adhering to the pouch. I'm also going to be using my mini iron to warm this up to remove any type of moisture. Then you can remove the back carrier sheet, place your design on the center of the pouch, using the pressing sheet to lay on top of your design, and then iron over it with some very firm pressure for about 30 seconds. You want to hold it in place and press firmly. Let it cool down before you flip it over and put your other design on the back side. For all of the designs you see in today's video, they are available on my Etsy shop, and I'll leave a link to that in my description box below if you are interested. Overall, I am very pleased with how this turned out. The colors are absolutely vibrant, and the xTool M2 cut out every single detail. Now, if you're looking for step-by-step instructions from xTool Studio all the way to applying it to the project, don't worry, I have you covered in a project a little later on in this video. For this project, I'm using a wood round that I found at Dollar General, and it's 8 inches round, as well as these waterproof sticker sheets. You can get these at Walmart. You get 10 sheets for $8.97. The side that you want to print on is the glossy coated side. It will have a little bit of a tacky feel to it, and I'm going to need 2 sheets for this project. We're going to load this into our machine and tape it down, and make sure we have our inkjet module installed. Once the design is finished cutting, I'll place another sheet in there because I want my wood sign to be double-sided. And let me just tell you, this printed in the most vibrant, beautiful colors. Now, all I have to do is peel that back carrier sheet off and place this on top of the wood sign, pressing it down firmly. Mine did have a little bit of an overhang. I'm thinking maybe because the wood circle was not perfectly round. I'm going to trim that off with a utility knife. Before placing the other image on the back side, I need to poke some holes through where the hanger will go. Then I'll know exactly where to place my twine. These are waterproof sticker sheets, so you should be able to hang this outside, but I would recommend it would be on a covered porch. For this project, I'll be using a 100% cotton tote bag from Hobby Lobby for $2.50, as well as this inkjet heat transfer paper from Walmart. This paper does require you to mirror your image before printing. I used 100% concentration for the ink module, and I did print this twice to really make those colors pop. I do have this sitting on my heating mat, and I'm going to warm up the tote bag for about 5 to 6 seconds, just to remove any moisture. Then I can place my design face down, center on the tote, and place a piece of parchment paper on top. I'm going to press this at 350 degrees for 30 seconds with firm pressure, and then you peel the backing away while it's still warm. And this is how it's looking. I'm going to flip this over, and on the other side of the tote, I'm going to use that printable iron-on from Hobby Lobby to show you the difference between the two. And this one, you do not need to mirror the image. You just need to remove the design from the liner. I pressed this at 325 for about 30 seconds. And this is how the Hobby Lobby printable iron-on looks versus the heat transfer paper from Walmart. I do believe if I play around with the settings a little bit and increase the temperature and press for a little bit longer, I can really get this heat transfer paper from Walmart to come out even better. For this project, I'm using a 100% cotton ladies t-shirt. I'm going to go ahead and remove the wrinkles, and then we're going to head over to xTool Studio, and I'll show you step by step how to import your design, print, and cut this on the heat transfer paper. Just like I showed you previously, you will place your paper into the machine and secure it in place using some masking tape. Make sure you have your inkjet module installed and plugged in. In xTool Studio, we're going to select our mode. We're going to do print, then cut. As for the material, I found the settings for heat transfer vinyl puff white to work much better than the settings I had before. Once you close your lid, the automation automatically begins. It will capture an image as well as measure the distance. Once that is complete, you'll see a green check mark on the right-hand side of your screen. Now we can come over to the left-hand side and import our design. I'm going to start off by cropping it so that I can remove all of this dead space and get a more accurate measurement. Click Save. And using the blocks on the corners, you can drag your image to the correct size. On the right-hand side, you'll need to select the processing module and click Printer. And at the very top, we need to reflect this horizontally so that this will mirror the image. Now we need to make our cut portion. Click on Offset at the top, and we're going to do External and Enter. I'm going to change my distance to 0.01 because I want this to cut basically just on the line of the design. Then click Confirm. It'll show you your 0.01 distance, and then click Confirm again. On the right-hand side, select Cut. We're going to leave that at 90% power, 15 millimeters speed, and the dynamic power with a minimum output of 10%, and then click Process. The processing time is estimated to be 3 minutes and 26 seconds to print. At the bottom right-hand corner, click Start, and it will process the file to send over to the machine to print. You'll then press the button on the front of your machine, and it will automatically remove the cap from the inkjet module and begin printing. When printing is complete, it will pick up the inkjet module cap. In xTool Studio, click Next. It will advise you to install the laser module. When removing your inkjet module, simply unplug it and pull it away from the base. It is attached magnetically. Then insert your laser module and plug that in. Once you close the lid, it will automatically measure for you, as you can see here in xTool Studio. Once that is complete, click the Start button on the front of your machine, and it will give you an estimated time to cut out. This machine has a Class 1 safety feature because of the closed lid, but you can also watch this cut directly from your computer by clicking Enable Monitoring on the bottom left-hand side of the xTool Studio. I am placing my heating mat inside of the t-shirt, making sure to pull the t-shirt tightly and go over this with a lint roller. I'm also going to preheat the shirt to remove any moisture for about 5 seconds. Because of my settings, it did not do what you would call a kiss cut. It actually cut through both layers of the paper. I am just going to place this with the design facing down and line everything up. Keep that back sheet of paper on there. You don't want to remove that. Place a piece of parchment paper over top of your design. Then set your heat press on there. I have mine at 365 degrees, and I'm going to press firmly for 30 seconds. Once that's complete, I pressed it again for another 30 seconds just to make sure all of the ink transferred. While it is still slightly warm, you can remove the backing to reveal the image. And I just love how this t-shirt turned out. I purchased a really inexpensive white men's t-shirt from Walmart, and I wanted to try to apply this heat transfer paper on there, and I'm not sure how it's going to turn out since this is a moisture wicking t-shirt. It is made of 65% polyester and 35% cotton, so I'm going to go ahead and create my decal and see if we can attach that to the back of the shirt. I inserted my heating mat, and now I've removed all of the wrinkles, and I'm just warming up the area on the back of the shirt to place my decal. Again, I'm using that inkjet heat transfer paper from Walmart. And this was a large image, so I did have to press it at the top and then press it at the bottom, but it came out beautiful. I allowed that to cool off enough so I could flip it over, and I made a smaller decal to go on the front, sort of at the top left corner. And let me tell you guys, this turned out so pretty, and my husband absolutely loved this shirt. I hope you enjoyed today's video, found tons of information and inspiration. Please let me know down in the comments below if you have a favorite project out of today's video, because I always love to know which one is your favorite. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please take care, and I'll see you guys next time.